Welcome back to edtech by Meera, and in today's very simple tutorial you're gonna build something interesting, which is an income tracking app. So you're actually going to calculate the income based on the quantity and the price of the product that's being sold in your shop or whatever that's being sold by you, so your income in general. So for that, first we need to import CSV, the CSV library, because you will be provided with a CSV file that I'll show you later in the files. Income, we create a variable called income and then initialize it with a 0 value, because we've not yet started earning yet, we've not yet started calculating yet. So income initial value 0. Now you need to open the file, the CSV file that's provided or that's been already created earlier, presuming that, and the name, because for this project, as I've said earlier, it's been taken from 100 days of Replit code, so that's been provided by David here, and the name of the file, the CSV file is day54totals.csv. So for that, the code is with open. So this is a code for opening that, with open, and then within the parenthesis, the name of the file that was created earlier or provided earlier, days54totals.csv, as a string, mind you, and so that will open up the file. Yeah, so you have to write exactly with open within the parenthesis name of the CSV file as file. You need to write that followed by the colon. So then only it will open it as a file. Then after that, you create a variable called reader. Now you will be reading the contents of the file as like, presuming it's like a dictionary, you know, all the values. So that's why we say reader. So create the variable reader and assign it csv.dictReader, the file. That is the file that is already created. So that first you will open it and then you will read it like you're reading the contents of a dictionary. So this is a code for that. Now this you must, no need to memorize, as and when you create such projects and keep doing it all the time, then it will come to your memory. So no need to, you just need to understand. And later I will be also writing, now that I'm speaking in explanation, later when I send you the source code in the description, you will also find the explanation that I'm saying as hidden lines under each and every code, so that you don't get confused later if you forget or something like that. Yeah, okay. Now then after that you need to create the for loop. So for row in reader. Now when you're reading the contents of the reader as a dictionary, obviously every value has to be written in a row like we've seen in other projects. So for every row in a reader, that means for row in reader, this is a for loop. What's the value that you're going to calculate for the income? How do you calculate the value? Now usually, you know, in maths, plain mathematics, income will be obviously quantity multiplied by the cost of the product, right? Quantity of the product multiplied by the cost. So income plus equal to, so plus equal to meaning income equals income plus the calculation quantity multiplied by cost. Now why do you use float? So that it will calculate it as numbers. And even decimals are taken into consideration. So that's the reason. We've done float earlier. If you don't understand float, you can see it in one of the earlier tutorials in the playlist for Python projects. And so float row quantity has a string multiplied by float row cost. So whatever quantity is there in that particular row, whatever cost is there in that particular row, float it and then multiply them together. Now you must be wondering from where this quantity and cost variables, or rather the keywords, are coming up. So these keywords are coming up from the file, the CSV file that is provided to you. And remember, You have to be very particular about the caps and the lowercase and the uppercase, because here I'll be showing you later after finishing this. In the file, it's provided as quantity with a cap Q and cost with a capital C. Let's say here we write all caps quantity or all caps cost, or we write all small letters quantity and all small letters cost. Then the keyword will not be accepted. It will throw up an error, because whatever is provided in the file, you have to use the same keyword. Then only you get the result. Okay, so now we finished the calculation for the income, and this is simple mathematics. I hope you know that already. Then, because income, why you're writing income plus equal to? Because you're going to accumulate the income. First one income calculated, then with that the second rows, third rows, and so on and so forth, accumulation. So that's why plus equals, not just for one row. Okay, then print your shop earned a total income of, this is like a string format. Okay, like dollar, whatever currency you want to write, and then within the curly braces, while you're doing a round, while you're rounding it, remember for rounding of decimals, otherwise the huge decimal value will come up. So after the decimal, you want to maybe round it to 2 or 3, so you can write round and then parenthesis income. Why? Because it's the income that you're calculating. It's going to come up as a huge decimal number. So round and then parenthesis income 2. So what does it mean 2? It will round to 2 places after the decimal. Yeah, that's the idea of rounding it to 2 places. So until now quite clear. That's the simplest of the Python projects that I have done. So just include today, because if you want to calculate the daily income for your shop or for your house or whatever, it could be shop or whatever income you're getting by selling some items, it's meant for that kind of income. So daily basis you can calculate this way. And then you can put that inside, store that inside the file. So, and then print if you want some heading. This is optional. You can say my shop income tracker or something like that. My shop, whatever, price tracker. Income would be more precise because you're actually calculating the income from the quantity of the product sold using the cost. So the ideal word would be income tracker. You can also call it income tracking app, whatever you like to say. Yeah, just to make it fancy, just so that you remember in future that why you made this project. So sometimes it's also important if you print it out this way and give it a title or a name. Sorry. So in future you can remember that this is the purpose of building this particular project. Okay, whatever I want to change. And ideally, you can even write this print in the beginning, in the top of the code, or in between the code, or at the end of the code. That's totally up to you. And then, yeah, I just decided to do it before the calculations, before the results will come. So that's up to you again. This is nothing to do with the project. This is just your fancy way of remembering. Later on, when you refer to this project, oh, why did I make this code? Why did I make this project? Oh yes, I made it for calculating my shop income tracker or for tracking my shop income on a daily basis. So that later when you want to make similar projects, you can refer to the code. So that's the idea of always remember to give titles to your project all the time. Either in the end or at the beginning, in the middle, that's totally up to you, but that's totally for your reference, nothing fancy. And then run the code. You'll find the output or the result of the calculation very simple. Your shop earned a total income of 1557853.21 today. Yes! Dollar. Calculated so quick. I mean, that's the quickest way you can build a project. I mean, hardly 5 minutes you can do this if you practice. So this is now I'm showing you the day 54 file, CSV file, cost, comma, quantity. You can see here cost 340.17, quantity 3, 974.94, comma 4, 802.03, comma 2, and so on and so forth in every row. So that was the file that we were referring to, days 54 totals.csv, that was already provided, right? It was already provided. You just open it as a file, you just read the content as a dictionary, and then you just did the for loop in order to calculate the income, and that's about it. See, I'm just showing you just to justify what I say. I changed the keyword from capital Q and C to small letters, and it will throw up an error, it won't calculate. So I just wanted to show you that. So there you go, error, key error, quantity, because it doesn't exist in the file. You used the wrong keyword. So I need to correct. So I'll go back and do the correction, capital Q, capital C. There you go, and then you're all set. All set, it should be fine. So now it should again calculate the total income for your day. Yeah, this is your shopper. The total income of 155,753.21 today. The same value has come in. So remember, I'll be doing many more such beautiful projects for total beginners, so that by the end of it you'll feel much more confident. And thanks to 100 days of Python code by David in Replit, and I try to simplify it and again do the project and explain it to you in the way that I understand, so that you guys can also understand and become better in your Python journey. Do remember to smash that subscribe button if you've already not done so, and if you're already subscribed, stay subscribed, and thanks so much for staying subscribed. And there you go, as promised, I'm writing the script, rather the hidden script and the explanation. Remember, you need to do it with a hash so that only you can see it will not interfere with the code. If you write the hash this way, it will not interfere with the code. If you don't write the hash and write your notes, hidden notes, then it will interfere with your code output. So that's the idea of writing it hidden with a hash. So with open so and so as file, here it will read the content for every row of the CSV file. So as promised, I'm writing all the explanation, whatever I said here, into the file, into the code, main py. Okay, you should also remember to do this for your future reference, so that in future you can always refer to your code and understand each and every line of your code, because in future it's possible you can forget. So now I'll see you in the next tutorial. Until then, stay subscribed.